Rosie. I'm Helene here at Cabin Fever Crochet. I'm in northeastern Washington State for those of you that are new. Fall is definitely in the air, and I'm relieved to say so. It's been pretty hot summer here, hot and dry, and I'm armed with my spray bottle of water because the bees, more like the super aggressive, meat-eating, attacking yellow jackets, have been horrible this year. So I moved far away from the house in a galaxy far, far away. Hopefully they'll leave me alone, but just in case, I've got my squirt bottle here to protect myself. So I thought I would pop on for a few, say hello, how much I have missed you all. I seriously needed a break, so I took one, and I can't believe it's been over 2 months since I've been on. Slowly returning, and I've been crocheting again. I even took a break from crochet as I was crocheting for the farmer's market, which I've just been kind of done hit and miss this year just because of the heat and other things going on. So I did make some new items for that. I brought out to show you just for fun, give you a little bit of an update on what's what. And so yeah, about, I don't know, a week or so ago, I picked up my hook again. I had an idea in mind and came up with a stitch that I really liked for it, and it's going to be divided up into at least 3 parts, and I hope you will enjoy it. I am really enjoying working it up, having a lot of fun with it. It's going to be a garment. It's an easy one. You can work it up a little at a time and then come back to it. So it's an easy one to just pick up where you left off. All right, so I'm not going to show that yet. But like I said, I have other things to show. And then my Lunar Dreams crochet shawl, which has been so well received, and I thank you all so very much for your response and for purchasing my patterns. And one person in particular, a couple of months ago, was having some difficulty, and I'm going to revise the written instructions a little bit to help better clarify them, just a little bit more reader friendly for you. So I will make an announcement on that when I have it done, and I apologize the person who asked that it's taken so long, but I've had some things come up and that I've been addressing, and that has taken priority in my life at this time. And so I want my head to be really in a good space when I do that and be able to concentrate and focus on it and to be able to do it right the first time around. The pattern itself is not changed, but for those of you who have worked it up, the part where you do the increases, and I did the increases a little offset from one increase row to the next, and there are about 6 rows in between that part where they offset a little bit, and I did that so the shawl would be more rounded rather than having visible points where the increases are, which is fine, nothing wrong with that, and that creates a really nice look too. And I'll probably do something like that sometime, but just for this one in particular, that's how I came up with it. And so it's one of those things that showing it like I did in the video is so much more easier than explaining it. But I was feeling so burnt out on everything, on crocheting for the market, on the time that I have put into the editing, not the designing and the crocheting or the teaching and tutorial part. I really enjoy that, and I enjoy sharing, but it's so much time into the editing portion and being at the computer. And for pretty much the whole month of August and a little before and beyond, I had about 5 weeks of almost solid migraines with maybe 1 or 2 days each week where I was pain-free. And I mentioned before, I have a lot of food allergies and intolerances that have built up, unfortunately, over the years, despite everything I do to prevent that. And in addition to overall health, I mean, I'm very health conscious. I'm into natural healing as much as possible, and I eat very healthy, and I'm also into physical fitness, not as much as I did many years ago in my youth, but I still, on a daily basis, as much to my ability, get out there and be active and do something, and weather permitting or indoors. And, despite all of that, things still happen, and then like sometimes I can eat something for a long time and then bam, I cannot. So it took a process of elimination, turned out to be 2 different culprits. So I have changed my diet, so to speak, just the way I eat, even more than I normally do. And unfortunately, in the process, and taking migraine meds, because sometimes natural only goes so far, and medicine has its place too. And so therefore, so my head did not explode. I was taking migraine meds and also minimally with the ibuprofen. And even though with food or milk, it really messed with my digestive system, bumping up on probiotics and so forth. So I have some unusual, like I've never had, some GI issues, so kind of dealing with that right now too. So please, anyway, without getting into my whole life history, no woe is me. That's just the way it is, and I'm doing everything I can to help myself in that regard. So enough said about that. My main point saying all that is just please be patient with me. Sometimes I do have, as far as being on here, sometimes I do have gaps of time where I'm not anyway, just because I'm taking care of and engaged with other things in life that need to be addressed, especially in summer here. This is time to get things done around this place. Yeah, but lately, these last 2 months have been a bit of a challenge. So I am just being more introspective, a lot of prayer, just a lot of being quiet and positive thinking and healing to best of my ability. And hopefully my healthcare providers will assist me with the rest in the most beneficial way possible. So be patient with me, okay? I appreciate that, and I appreciate you all still watching and for being here with me too, so that my channel doesn't get lost on YouTube. And I know some of you get tired of asking, if you haven't subscribed, do so already. And if you enjoy my content, please give a thumbs up. And the thing is, it really, really does help the channel connect with YouTube's algorithm so that people can find me and see me and remember, hello, I'm still here. And so I do appreciate that very much for all of you and from all of you, and that you, when I'm here, that you come back too. So I'm going to show you just for fun, the bags I made, and then one I forgot to take really good pictures of it. I take photos of the inside. So I have one picture. It's like so. It was at nighttime. It's a little bit dark, but it was my favorite one, and it did sell at the market, which was great. These 3 really neat ladies came to my booth, and they stayed for a long time, and I just made my heart so happy, and I just felt so blessed by their time and their appreciation, their comments of my work, and one included one of our former senators here that represented in the northeastern part of the state. And yeah, it's very different here on the eastern side in many ways, and call this the dry side because it gets hot and dry in the summertime, and we go through months where there's very little to no rain, no measurable anyway. We might have some now and then, but yeah, nothing that much. So we'll be getting into our wet season again, and I'm really glad to see that the wildfire smoke from surrounding areas has cleared out. So that's good. All right, so I made some bags. I made some bags from the market, and for the market rather. And oh, this week I'll show you my first one. So the bag that starts out as a rectangle and then turns into a bag. I used one of my favorite stitches, and I came up with that using the Caron Blossom Cakes, which I love, and I love some of their new colors, and I don't recall the name of this blue one, but I put 3 colors together, and they're all, oh no, this is Cabana. Okay, I remember Cabana. Oh, I remember this one. This is called Bark. And then this blue and beige and I don't really remember the name of it, but you know, if you go online or in the store, you'll recognize it. And then I bought these little leather snap tabs on Amazon, and I hand stitched these on, and that turned out fun. And this is a big one. It's a big, as you can see, it's a big crossbody, and I'm not too sad that this one did not sell yet. I had it for sale, but I really like it. It fits my body so well, so I might wind up keeping it. I did not line it, but I have a couple others, not in this style, but a different style that I line. But what I did do on this one is on the back side. So, oh yeah, there's where I hand stitched. I did a back stitching on that, and then on the inside tab too. Turned out cute. I was thinking of doing a tutorial. There are others on here, but of the same. But if you're interested and want to see my version of it, let me know. Would you either comment on the comment section or with the thumbs up? All right, so on this one, I did a double pocket. Turned out super cute, I think. I used a different yarn, thicker yarn, mostly cotton, and then I just stitched. I did it enough for a cell phone, where you can put the cell phone vertically or horizontally. Where you want to put it horizontally, a place for keys, a pen, lip gloss, something. So that's pretty good size pocket, as you can see, compared to the size of the bag itself. And on the one in this picture that I'm going to insert here, I did 2 pockets. I did a back pocket, and then one on the front, on the inside, that was vertical, and it was a long one. But that one was a smaller bag. So that was the one that dear sweet lady purchased. It was just so fun. It was fun interacting and talking, chatting with them, and they were trying on things. And my macrame bracelets did really well this season too, so that was exciting. And okay, so the second one, did I line? Oh, I did. I lined this one. See how much I remember. The peach and green one, I did not line, but this one I did. And I didn't sew the lining. I hand crocheted it on. That was a labor of love. That was a little hard on my hands, but I did. I made it work. And so, yeah, it's something I'd be into showing you sometime. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be this year, if it'll be next year. I don't know. But at some point, I might eventually get to it if you're interested in seeing. This is blue geranium. And in the cake, I thought, ooh, that is an interesting color combination. I wasn't sure if I liked that so much. And my husband was looking at it. He's like, yeah, I don't know. And I worked it up in the rectangle, and then I still wasn't sure. And when I put it together, I was like, wow, I really like that. It's very denim friendly and has a nice pop of color. I think it winds up being almost kind of a neutral. The colors that go from an orangey to a mix of burgundy in the orange, and it fades, so it could pull pink, coral, red, purple. Almost goes a little purpley in there too. And I did the same with the snap on here. It's not magnetic, just a regular snap where I hand stitched that. And then I did a little trim around the handle, and the handle is in the same stitch as this. Oh, and I got these little buttons when I ordered from Knit Picks We Crochet a little while back. They're coconut buttons. I had them in mind for something else, but they wound up being much smaller than I thought. And when I picked the color of this closure to go with the bag, and I thought, oh, what can I do? The way I did the seam here is on the first bag, I did the seam to where it was on the inside, and because it comes out opposite in the way I did the mattress stitch. So it's interesting, working it on the outside, the seam becomes on the inside. When I work it on the inside, the seam wound up being on the outside on this particular stitch pattern. And as you can see, it created a bit of a ridge there. And I thought that would be a neat way to accent. So yeah, so I took those buttons, and they were just enough. Give it a little decorative touch. And the lining, oh, and I did a pocket. Haven't looked at these in like a month. Surprise for me too. So I'm going to turn that inside out just so you can see what that looks like. And this one, oh yes, because I sewed or I crocheted the lining on when it was in the rectangular form. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It's not factory made, it's wrinkled. It's handmade, and to me that gives a little more character. Don't mind the wrinkles at the bottom there. I did press that out before I packed it up, but packing and unpacking shows can't quite help that. But there you can see the seam, and I kind of like that on the inside. I mean, it's not that's going to catch on anything. It's smooth, it's flat. I think it's cute. And then I did a double pocket and the same material on this side too. It's sturdy. And when I sew the pockets on, I do those by hand, and I I triple reinforced all the corners in any place where there might be a stress point. So there's a double pocket, there's a cell phone. This one's a little bit smaller for pen. I could even fit a small notepad in there too. Okay, oh, it feels good sitting in the sun today. It was chilly, overcast for most of the day. And I was going to go out back like I often do with the pretty mountain behind us, but bees out there too. And it's so overgrown with weeds. Some spots, it's looking like the Munsters yard, for those of you who are old enough to remember that show. But we were in a burn ban for a really long time and couldn't even mow, because if we hit a rock and it creates a spark, can just go up like tinder. Definitely some work to be had around here. So these are also in the Caron Blossom cakes, and I used, it's a square, it's a granny square that gets turned into a bag, and I picked one that was as solid as possible and created a really nice little diamond shape. Now it's getting hard for me to see because of the sun. I can't really see in my phone too well, but hopefully you can see that pretty well. Oh, and this is a vintage button I found at a secondhand store that has kinds of jewelry and cute little brooches and buttons. Yeah, I bought some really nice buttons. This is vintage leather button, and I have several of these. I have some in round that are teal, some are teal, and some are like a matte red. And then I have a couple neutral colors. Yeah, so that's really double crochet, double and triple crochet on that. And then I used that same stitch from the other bag in the purse, and I doubled yarn on, let's see, the trim I used in Lion Brand 24/7 cotton, the color Orchid. And I doubled up one strand of the 24/7 because it's thinner with the Blossom Cakes. I think this color is called Tropical Blooms, okay? And I combine those two together for double thickness, so you get a nice sturdy handle, and that's also crossbody. And here is what the back looks like. Cute. And I lined this one. No pockets on these. I mean, I could have, but I was pretty much done at that point. And here's a little lining. That pretty, the little orchid with the, they're polka dots, but they look like little bubbles to me. The print is a bit watercolor, and the little bubbles aren't exactly circular. I think I did the lining. Did I do it? Oh yeah, I did it when it was in a square first, and then when I folded it, so I put the lining on. Here's what it looks like on the inside. That's not flat, but just so you can get an idea. There. That's that one. Okay. I had fun making them, but towards the end I was starting to feel a little burnout and just overwhelmed really with everything. Sometimes life can feel just a bit much. And I imagine most people have been there too. So it's when it's time to just step back a little bit, and you know, it's okay. It's okay. Give yourself a break when you can. That often give a lot of ourselves to other people, and wanting to people who like to help and do things, you know, and help others. And I like to get things done too, and I get on a roll and just do too much. And I have so many interests also. So many interests. I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to learn about that, and I want to try this, and I want to learn how to watercolor someday, and I really enjoy learning and trying new things. Only so many hours in a day, and then wind up spreading myself so thin that I hit a wall. It's like I just cannot do anything right now. And health is most important. It's really important to take care of yourselves. And for those that are still working and having families, it can be a challenge to juggle and balance it all and still have time for yourself. And if you're in a relationship with someone else, have quality time for just the two of you and each other. And we did many, many decades of juggling and doing just that. But it is so important. Life just goes so quickly, so fast, in the blink of an eye, really. So take the time wherever you can to just stop, let your spirit be, and to have just that quiet time and reconnect to things that are important in your life, and the little things, the little moments and the memories and things that you cherish and hold dear to your heart. while you can, while you still can. All right, so the last one, and then I made another one like that one in the blue. This might be Pansy. I think this one's called Pansy. I love this yarn so much. I think I'm close to having almost every color. Close to, not every one of them. I drew a line at the last 2 or 3. It's so soft and it can snag on itself a bit, especially if you have to take it apart. So if you're starting a new project, I definitely recommend taking your time with it, or like doing a practice yarn first, making sure you have the stitch pattern down good. And then if you do have to take this yarn, be very careful, do a little at a time. It can snag on itself a bit, but not terribly so. So this I did in the same way. I didn't double up the yarn on the handle for this one, but I did use the 24/7 and sky blue for the trim on both. And it turned out pretty cute too. And different button. Just looks like this one's plastic. I thought it was pretty. I like the shape of it, and it looks like a hint of abalone-ish. And then here's the lining, something simple, pretty little, like a floral type of leafy design, and kind of a batik-ish. I like batiks a lot. And then here's the inside stitching on that. So this one, you can see there is some purple in that lavender color, just depending, it's a gradient type of yarn, so it does lean towards the purple periwinkle type there. You can see it right on the back here. All right, so that's it. That's my share for today. Here I thought I was going to pop on for 10 minutes. It's been a long one. So I hope you enjoyed this little talk, life talk and share today. Take care, everyone. See you again soon, I hope. I'll be working on a few things. I think the next thing up and ordered needs to be a little bit of revision to my Lunar Dreams written pattern. So all of you that have purchased it or plan to will have that access right away. Okay, well, that's it. Toodaloo for now. Stay well. Be safe out there. And enjoy your life. All right, till next time.